It's time for a round of everyone's favorite game, Asian White. No, it's Game Changer and it's Noise Some Makes. This, I really enjoyed this. The way this pulled together, and like in some ways they lucked out. This is one of those cases where the situation that was created had the potential to honestly result in kind of middling outcomes. And I think that's happened a couple times this season where like that is a pretty neat idea, but it didn't like bring out the most because maybe the instincts of the players didn't go in the most entertaining direction, or maybe it parts of the game weren't as engaged with as they could have been. Night Shift really comes to mind for that. But this is one where not only is it a really neat idea, but they kind of really lucked out with just the things that Sam and the crew couldn't control going really well, especially towards the end. So I'll get to that in a minute. First of all, just the idea of having the Noise Boys back, and together on the Game Changers stage, immediately you're like, okay, what do you think you're gonna do new with Make Some Noise? Like, it's its own show now. What's the twist gonna be here? And this is a pretty good one. It's Make Some Noise by way of, the game telephone from when you were a kid. Whisper something to somebody, go all the way around the circle, see how much it's changed by the end. And so initially introducing the idea of the contestants of Josh, Zach, and Brennan having to act out prompts that only they see, and then they have a partner who has to try and guess what it is, and then adding in the extra layer. Oh, no. You guys aren't going to see what the prompts is. We're going to show the prompts to these artists who are going to try and draw it. Then you're going to do that, and then these people are going to guess it. And then the final complication. So, Kaylin, the PA. I put that in quotes because Kaylin is like an actress and a comedian. Now, she's been on the show before, playing the part of a PA. So like when they've had, because you have folks like Ash and Nico who are legitimately, part of the production crew. But then you'll often have other PAs like in the background doing extra stuff on the stage. And she's been that before, but those aren't necessarily actual PAs, because not all PAs want to be in front of the camera. And if you're going to put somebody in front of the camera, maybe you get someone to play the part of a PA. So while I think it's probably not true that she is a legit just a PA production assistant, if you don't know the lingo, I doubt that she was just a PA. I do believe Sam, based off her reactions, I do believe Sam did not tell her what she was in for, and that she only came to play the part of PA, which she's done on the show before, and instead gets roped in initially in the phone booth. And I love George's reaction, seeing the red phone booth and going, I didn't even notice that. And yeah, so now the prompt goes to the artist. They have to draw it. Kaylin gets shown it, has 10 seconds to describe over a scratchy phone connection, nice touch, to the people who are gonna try and play it out. And then finally, the folks have to then guess what the heck that prompt was. I love the scale. I love that it's a 1 to 5 point scale, so that it's not a binary, and it's also not the loosey-goosey nonsense scoring that is normally done on Make Some Noise. I'm sure that made Brennan very happy that it was much more concrete this time. And this is already a fun, delightfully overly complicated setup. But then then the idea of everybody moving stations. So you have things like the artists who were just there to make art, at least so they thought, trying to act these out, and you have, up to 3 people crammed into this phone booth. You have people trying to draw it who are not artists and are definitely not used to working under these kinds of time constraints. And then you have the things like the giant pencil and the tiny easel. That was one of my favorites. That was great. And the build of it, the end, like this is the part where I mean that they got really lucky towards the end, because there is something so magical about the prompt about the limbo and evolutionary chart. Because, well, first of all, I love that the audience is not shown the prompt either initially, and usually only given a very quick glimpse of the art, if any at all, so that it puts us in the position of whoever's trying to write down the prompt, trying to figure it out as well, which is always one of the things that's really fun about a lot of game shows, that we at home are trying to guess along with the contestants. So that structure they're already doing really well. But the fact that the audience and most of the people on stage don't know what the original prompt was, and that it's and this is at maximum complications. Like Zach is listening to Smooth by Santana on a loop. There's a fantastic reel on Instagram where somebody actually like synced it up, because there's a moment where he says it just started again. Somebody synced it up to like starting the song right at that point and letting it play, and the way that it lines up with the last prompt that Zach's team does is gold. I might put a link in the description to this Instagram reel. It's amazing. I watched it like 5 times in a row. I love it so much. 5 times is an underestimate. It was more like 10 times. But anyways, like just watching this thing snowball, and like this whole thing has just been delightful chaos at almost every step, at every new complication. And then to have Lily, say a man doing limbo with monkeys, possibly as a metaphor for evolution, and Sam's immediate reaction of, like, he could not believe how spot on that guess of hers was, especially at the end of the game, where it's maximum complications, maximum confusion, in as much as they could possibly do. And everyone's already drained from having been doing this for a while, and it gets nailed that much. It is such a beautifully triumphant moment. It's the kind of thing you can't script. They just got really lucky that there was this amazing fist pump final prompt for Zach's team. And I don't even think the show really loses energy because Brennan's team has to go after that and have the ending and obviously lose, because he literally can't win at that point. Even if they got a perfect 5 score, it wasn't going to be enough. But we're still managing to ride the high of that amazing sequence of events that is just, every now and then, the chaos syncs up. I don't know if you've ever seen, I don't know what they are. I don't know if it was like a TikTok trend, or I've also seen it done as like a theater exercise or whatever. Just a bunch of people talking over each other, disjointed, but then like for one brief sentence or one phrase, they all say it at the exact same time. It's like, so anyway, what I was saying was, it felt like that. It felt like just this one moment where the chaos all snapped into place and gave us a perfect tail end of this thing. This was a lot of fun. If I'm still keeping track and ranking, I think I like Count the Rice just a little better for the more figuring out the whole thing as it goes element. But like this Count the Rice and Roulette 2, these are 3 phenomenal episodes. I mean, any season that has 3 episodes that are this good, that's a solid season. I hope that the remaining episodes are also really good, but dang, even if the other episodes we get this season are kind of meh, these 3 alone make this a really good season of Game Changer. The funny thing is that in hindsight, it's kind of lowering my estimation of the other stuff. I think I said like a Kangaroo Court was kind of a return to form after Night Shift. And I suppose I still think that was the next best one after the one I've named, but there's like a big gap. Cause it's like Roulette 2, Count the Rice, and Noise Some Makes, Kangaroo Court, Don't Make Standards and Practices, and Night Shift. There's a big gap between the top 3 and the bottom 3, but so like in some ways it has lowered my estimation of the 3 that I think are the weakest of the season so far. Those still had their merits, but This, the previous one, and Roulette 2 are just at another level. This was great. Noisome Makes, Game Changer, episode 6. What'd you think of this one? Whatever your thoughts are, drop something down in the comments. Let's talk about it. Patreon pays the bills, enables me to do this as my living. Even if you can't help me out that way, like, share, subscribe. They all help. Don't worry too much about it, though. We take a relaxed attitude around here, so you can just come on back next time you need a break. Now to thank my highest supporting patrons: Robin Moore, Jared Boyce, Lubin Lupfula, Daphne Matthews, Kay Johnston, Auntie Kate 808, Mira G, Angry Casper, Dave Hall, Snark Shark, Oliver B, Mystic Shadow, Stephen Miller, Welsh Wrestling Geeks, Magdalena, Melissa Pedersen, Becky Sparks, Twilord, Tracy Scrabbit, Claire Wright, Pal Baraba Joggle, and Sir Didymus is my favorite. Additionally, I'd like to thank from the lower tiers of support, John Dent, Erez87, and Quark 12,000. Well, you guys might like to see Archie this month. Everybody loves you. How could you not?